Hey everyone, welcome back to practice. In today's class, we'll be working with external rotation of the hips, flexion of the hips, and balance postures. You can sit cross-legged, you could sit on your heels, just establishing this foundation of seated posture. And then allowing the horizon line of your eyes to close. And if you prefer them open, that's okay. Just keep them on a single position. So rather than the eyes darting around, you place them on one single point. And as you sit here tall and not rigid, feel what's connected to the floor beneath you. Feel the air against the skin. And feel the breath moving in and moving out. You may notice that there are sounds happening around you. And you have thoughts about the sounds happening around you. Can you return to the sensation of breath? You may notice other senses, smelling, tasting. Come back to the sense of touch or feeling sensation of breath. And start to breathe in a way that it has sound. Maybe you embrace the breath with throat and create ujjayi. Or maybe you let the mind get a little quieter so that you can become aware of the most subtle sound of breath. And holding in concentrated effort, hearing breath and feeling breath. Let the breath touch into the belly. Let it touch into the chest. Let it touch into the lower and upper parts of the back. And let it touch into the sides. So all else falls away, with the exception of sound and sensation of every breath. And can you keep your eyes closed as you find your way to child's pose? And maybe you need to open them for just a moment and climb into child's pose and then close them again. But sitting back, outstretch the spine forward, forehead releasing. Sound and sensation of breath moving through you. Walk to the right, angling the upper body off to the right-hand side. Lay the head to rest once again and pull the left hip away from the pinky side of the left hand. Lifting head, keep eyes closed. Feel your way across the yoga mat all the way to the left. Releasing head down, pulling right hip away from right pinky finger side of hand. And find your way back to center. Keep your eyes closed. Come up to tabletop, create it. Right, so you'll have to feel whether the wrists are under the shoulders, whether the knees are under the hips, eyes still softly closed. And move through some cow-cat with eyes closed. So hearing sound of breath, sensation of breath. And you layer in the sensations that this movement between these two poses brings into the body. And then very delicately let your eyes open. So you begin to receive light and other stimulus through the eyes, but maintaining that level of concentration on breath. Find your way to neutral. And take your right leg back with your right toes tucked under. And then do the same thing with your left leg, setting the feet at hips distance. And you'll feel the heaviness of your body being pulled towards the floor. Put your eyes on a single point somewhere between the index thumb fingers, centered, and feel into plank pose. Collarbones wide, heels reaching back. Take a deep inhale and then use your exhale to raise your hips up and back into the first downward dog pose. And can you get statue still in down dog? Even here in this first one, where it's so tempting to pedal and fidget and sway. But what if you just climbed inside and you sat right inside of this pose, as if it's that seated posture for meditation? And then begin to explore the experience of moving from down dog into plank. So let the inhale bring you forward. And the exhale bring you back. So the breath is initiating the movement or the rippling forward and backwards from plank to downward dog. Then inhale to the plank. Exhale, lower the knees and come forward and down onto the belly. Untuck your toes. Keep your left hand how it is. Stretch your right arm out to the side like a T. Roll on to right side body. Look to the left. Pec stretch. Baby top leg steps behind the bottom leg. Restack the legs, come back to belly. Slide the right hand in like cobra. Extend the left arm out like a T, palm down. Head looks right, roll onto left side. And again, you could place the top foot behind you to open you with more clarity or for support back there. Restack the legs, come back to belly. Both hands along the breastbone, root the pelvis, press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in and downward dog. Exhale and walk up, feet meeting the hands. Ride the waves of your breath here. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold again. Do it a few times. Find your own unique breath rhythm where the movement is following. Bring hands to hips from forward fold and push feet. Come all the way up to standing. Release your arms by the sides of your body like you're in mountain. And then can you bend at your wrists as if you're pushing your hands down into the top of a table or into a long flat surface? So you'll start with wrists extended here, kind of like we're in tabletop, that position of wrists. Then turn your fingers out to the sides. Then turn your fingers so they're pointing back behind you. And push down through the heels of your hands. Glide the shoulder blades onto the back side of your rib cage and reach up through the crown of your head. So it's as if you're corkscrewing your hands out and down and getting greater length into the spine and more stamping of the shoulder blades onto the back side of your rib cage. Take one more breath, feet reaching down, heels of hands reaching down, crown of head reaching up. And then relax your wrists. Find yourself in standing tall Tadasana. Exhale all of your breath. Surya Namaskar, C variation. Inhale, raise the arms, lift the eyes, touch the palms. Exhale, bow forward. Then inhale, lift halfway and lengthen. With your exhale, left leg back to lunge, left knee to the floor. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. It's a big step all the way back there. Breathe in, ripple forward, plank pose, this familiar movement. Exhale, lower chaturanga or knees first. Take cobra, explore using that chest opening we just created. Exhale, hips go back into downward facing. Steady breath here. So climb inside of down dog as if it's a meditation seat. Using an inhalation, let the left leg lift up and back behind you. As you exhale, left foot forward between your hands, right knee placed on the floor. Breathing in, chest, chin, reach forward, so that feeling of lunging. Exhale, step to the front and fold in half, standing forward bend. Inhale, reach all the way up to the top. And exhale, come back to mountain pose. One more with the opposite leg leading. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, articulate the spine into reaching. Exhale, now it's right leg back, right knee to the ground. Breathe in, chest, chin forward, hips forward slightly. Exhale, down dog, step, giant step. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back bend, reach the legs back, pull the chest forward up. Exhale, hips roll back. Down dog, climb inside and breathe. Use breath in, right leg lifting. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee grounded. As you breathe in, create the lunge action. Exhale, step forward, fold in half, belly towards thighs. Inhale, rise, reach all the way. Exhaling, return to Tadasana, mountain pose. And Surya A, one time, inhale, reach, lift, curl. Exhale, bow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step back, lower down. So all same exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, hips raise, downward facing. Climb inside, breathe. And take breath all the way in, preparing to come forward. Exhale, crouch, look towards your hands. Inhale, step or jump. Half lift, still inhaling. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way, lift. And exhaling, return to your mountain pose. In your mountain pose, take your right arm and firm it in along the side of your body. So it's stamped into the right side body. Take left arm up, deep breath in. As you exhale, slide the right hand down the outer right leg, crescent over to the right. And do some work to tune into the way the breath flows, the sensation of it into left hand side body. As you inhale, rise back up. Exhale, firm the left arm in along the side body. Inhale, reach up, right arm. Exhale, up over left. So stamping left arm into side, squeezing whole body to the midline, and then crescent mooning up and over to the left. Inhale back to center and exhale, release the arm. Then take your arms and bring them horizontally out in front of you. Palms facing down. Bring the big toes to touch or set your feet how you like them for chair pose. I like my big toes touching. You might like your feet at hips distance. And bend the knees, hip hinge, coming into chair. And as you reach your fingers away, draw your ribs back away from the fingers. So it's the rib cage that moves back rather than trying to tuck your tailbone underneath you. Now turn palms in, raise arms up on the high diagonal, Utkatasana, chair pose. Steady gaze, steady breath. And we're sitting inside of chair as if it's a meditation posture. Can you sit a little heavier in your meditation seat of Utkatasana? Come back to arms horizontal. Stay in your chair. Pull the ribs back again. And turn palms in. Reach up high diagonal. And take a full breath in. And exhale, straighten the legs. Fold out and down. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, left leg back to lunge. Keep the knee up away from the floor. Take your 2 yoga blocks and frame your right foot with them. So one is on the outside of the right foot, one is on the inside of the right foot. Set the blocks shoulders distance. Can you inhale, pull back to this version of pyramid where both legs straighten? And exhale, come back into that lunge position. Feel free to turn your blocks on whatever height level helps you to feel like you can move with a bit of fluidity here. And pulling back to that right leg straight, right hip hugs in and back. Step your left foot forward by a footprint. Turn the left foot in and down. Crown of head reaching away from right hip, pulling back. So we have long legs and this long spine position. Come back to that idea of the ribs pulling away from the fingertips, what we just explored in that chair. And then, can you keep right hip held in? Spine reaching long, and take your arms vertical by your ears, which is really horizontal to the floor. Take one more breath here. Exhale, touch down to blocks, bend the front knee, move the blocks to the side, step all the way back to downward dog. If you'd like to flow, you're welcome to flow from your downward facing dog. Otherwise, climb inside, sit in your down dog meditation seat. From down dog, use breath in, left leg up, back. Exhale, left foot forward between the hands into lunging. Take the blocks if you're using them, frame the left foot, and practice. Breathing in, both legs straight. Breathing out, front knee over front heel in the lunge. So the straightening of the leg does not necessarily mean a shifting of the pelvis. So see if you can keep your pelvis in the same position and simply bend and straighten your left knee. Come to left leg straight. Hug left hip or hold left hip in and back. That really does level and stabilize the pelvis. Right foot steps forward, right heel turns in and down. And then fortify your form so the ribs do pull up, so there's not like a dipping in the back happening. And can you reach horizontally, which is arms vertical, long by the ears? Take one more breath there. And exhale, bend knee, touch floor, blocks off to the side, downward facing dog step. Stay or flow. Enjoy your breath in some way. Use a breath in, right leg lifting from down dog, up and back behind you. Exhale, right foot outside of your right hand. So you're into lunge, but it's a little wider in its base of support. Lower the back knee to the floor. Chest, chin reaching forward as hips drop down, just like when we took that first crescent in the sun salutation C. That same feeling of heavy hips, heart, eyes, throat slightly forward. And take your yoga block, doesn't matter which one, and put it inside of your right foot. See that your right foot's slightly turned out. The whole sole of the foot is stamping into the ground. And we're going to do a few lower onto the elbows and then back to straight arms. Right? So you're coming down and then you're coming up and placing your hands on that yoga block. You might decide you need your block set uber high up on its side. Do that. You also might be in here going, I don't even need a block. I'm going to try to do it elbow, elbow, straight, straight. And can you alternate? So if you lower the right elbow, then the left, then when you come up, it's right arm straight, left arm straight. Reverse the pattern. Finding your way back to straight arms. Pull hips back and straighten that right leg all the way into this variation of runner stretch. Blocks may be handy here to bring the floor up to you. So both arms and spine, we're inside of our right leg. And then really turn the pinky toe side of your right foot out and down towards the floor. Pull the right hip in and back, just like you did in pyramid. And go for long spine, even if it's up on a diagonal. There's length to it. Bend front knee, land foot. Blocks to the side, handy for when you next need them. Downward dog, step all the way back. And use breath in, left leg lifting up and back behind you. Exhale, stamp left foot outside of left hand. Right knee tacks down. Start with lizard. So we're not rapid fire moving today. We're savoring. And then if you're going to use the block to do your elbows or forearms down back to straight arms, you can use the block. If you know you don't need it or don't want it, then just start to explore. Forearm, forearm, straight arm, straight arm. Alternate. Forearm, forearm, straight arm, straight arm. I'm going to do a few on a block, and then I'm going to choose to take my block off to the side, just to give myself time to ease into this idea. Coming back to straight arms, wrists more under shoulders. Pull back into that variation of Hanuman's pose or half splitting. Place the blocks under hands if needed. Hug left hip in and back. Spine reaching, just like it was in pyramid. Just like it was in Tadasana. Bend left knee, walk the hands forward. Blocks off to the side if you had some. Right knee up, step back, downward dog. Climb inside and sit, or flow through vinyasa with your breath. Use breath in, right leg up, back behind you. Exhale, right foot forward and through. Keep your back knee lifted. Add to that, turning your back foot all the way down. Front heel, back arch lining up. Unwind up, warrior two. Arms reaching out from center of chest. Can you feel the hips descending, but the spine ascending? Pull back through front thigh until right leg is straight. Turn your back foot in slightly, maybe narrow the stance. Inhale, reach away. Exhale into triangle pose. Right hip held in and under. Arms extending from center of chest away from one another. Hook the back heel into the mat. Pull back through upper arm, looking down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to hips, all 10 toes facing the same direction. Move the collarbones open, so shoulders back. Inhale, lift up, chin, chest. Exhale, bow forward, hands to floor. Release the crown of the head towards the floor. Feel free to have knees bent in this pose. Also, blocks under hands can be helpful. Use your next exhale to empty your body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pivot around to the front of your yoga mat. So right leg is leading. Walk your hands forward, stand up, standing split. Left leg lifts, right leg is steady. Take a bow in the direction of your right shin. Bend your right knee, land your left foot back. To that lunge, down dog, step all the way back. Breathe there or move through. And using inhale from down dog, left leg up, back. Exhaling, left foot forward between the hands. Turn the back foot down, line up, heel to arch back there. Come into warrior two. And so you're finding two things at once, the down of the pelvis, the up of the spine. So there's heaviness and lightness here together. Press into left heel to pull the left leg to straight. Angle the back foot slightly so the back hip turns slightly in. Inhale, reach away, like up, out, and away. Exhale, down into triangle pose. Then look down, breathe out, inhale, rise. Use the back arm pulling back to lift you. Hands to hips, all 10 toes, pointing the same direction. Open collarbones, stamp feet, strong legs. Inhale, lift up, chin and chest. Exhale, bow forward, hands to outer shins or grab your big toes with your index and middle finger. Inhale, lengthen, traction, it's like half lift. Exhale, fold. Elbows will bend out to the side, much like two right angles or like a set of wings. Use breath in to lengthen. Hands under shoulders. Exhale, pivot to the left. Into lunge stance, walk the hands, arms away from you, forward. Stand up on left leg, right leg parallel to floor or horizontal to floor. Standing split, take a bow. Release the right leg parallel to the left, standing forward fold. Let the head go. Hands to hips, collarbones widen as shoulders pull back and together. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Feet at hips distance apart. Bring your hands together in prayer. And then start this action. It's like single leg bicycle. So put the weight into your left foot. Bring your right knee up towards you. Extend your leg away from you and lower the leg back to the floor. Up, how high, out, how far, and back down. You could do it without ever really letting the left foot touch the floor again, so it stays like left or opposite leg floating, you know, like it's grazing the ground. And can you do it while maintaining a straight standing leg? Can you do it without leaning back? Okay. So when your leg extends in front of you, you don't lean back away from it. Stay vertical over your pelvis. Releasing that leg to the floor, translate the weight of the body into the other leg, and then single leg bicycle, knee up with a move, leg out with a move, and a gliding of it down. So it's a lot going on here. Connect to sensation, sound of breath, right? Helping with that balance. Slowly releasing opposite foot to the floor. Keep your hands together in prayer. Lean side to side, front and back. Find your center line. Once you've got it, lift up through the diaphragm of your pelvic floor. Translate weight of body into left leg. Bring right knee up, reach inside of right leg, hook your big toe with index and middle finger, left hand to hip, then stand up nice and tall. It's like you're hoisting your right knee towards your right shoulder. Stay here or play with extending the leg in front. Stay there or play with turning the right foot out, just like in that half Hanuman, and opening right leg out to the right. If you've got the leg opened out, shift your eye gaze over to the left and down, like towards your left shoulder, left elbow. As you take your eyes forward, can you bring the leg back to the front plane of the body? Hands to the hips, hold the leg up in front of you. How high? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let it come down. Go back to hands to prayer. Lean forward, lean back. Go side to side. Find the middle. Once you've established what your center is, lift up. So there's a pelvic floor diaphragm, much like the breathing diaphragm. It goes up. It looks like if we were standing underneath you, it would look like a parachute, right? Lift there. Put weight into your right leg. Left knee up. Grab the big toe with your left index middle, right hand to your hip. Pull left knee up to shoulder. Stand up tall and straight on the left leg. Stay or extend in front. It's a breath meditation even here. Stay there or angle left toes to the left, out to the left-hand side. Stay rooted in your breath. Turn your head to the right, so chin rotates to right shoulder. Look down towards the floor beyond that right elbow, right shoulder. And in a movement, eyes forward, leg forward. Left hand to hip, hold your leg up. How high? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it go. Relax your arms. Tadasana, strong through the legs, long through the spine. If you're not at the front of your mat, make your way there. Exhale completely, like you're breathing out through the soles of your feet. Inhale, reach arms, lift eyes. Exhale, bow forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. Exhale, back to plank. Keep exhaling, lower down your way or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, hips back, downward facing. In down dog, consider it a meditation seat. So it's energized but not rigid. And there's a fixed concentration on the breath. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, crouch low, look forward. Inhale, step, jump, walk, or crawl through to seated. The legs extended in front. Bend your knees, soles of the feet grounded. Zip your legs together. Reach into the backs of the thighs or the creases of your knees and create vertical. Okay. Vertical, including like chin horizontal to the floor, so the chin isn't jutting forward. And then start to straighten the arms and hinge the whole spine back. Now lift the shins parallel to the ground. Boat. Or boat with arms reaching parallel to the floor. Or boat with legs high diagonal, arms reaching parallel to the floor. Or boat with legs diagonal, arms reaching vertically. One more breath in whatever boat you're exploring. Bend your knees, feet together, knees wide apart. Hold the fronts of the ankles. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, spill forward into Baddha Konasana. Holding ankles, holding feet, or walking hands and arms forward and beyond. Lengthen out of the lower part of your back. So think of lengthening away from sacrum, away from tailbone. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come all the way up to vertical. Zip your legs back together, soles of the feet on the floor. Hold into your knee creases. Create tall spine. Hinge back, shins up. Stay or add arms. Stay or add legs high diagonal. Stay or add arms vertical, legs high diagonal. There's a tipping point in there. Breathe. Release the feet, legs straight. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow. On your way, maybe you softly bend your knees to bring belly close to thighs. If that can be done with straight legs, then stay with straight legs. Seated forward fold. Lengthen from tail to sacrum, up lumbar, into thoracic, out through crown of head. Use breath in, extend, inhale. Exhale, come back up to tall spine. See that you have the space to bend your knees, plant the feet, separate the feet to hips distance, and roll down, like articulate down onto your back. And take your arms to T position, out to the sides. Bring your legs in towards you, zip them together, just like we were doing with boat, only now the knees are bent and we're on our back. Go side to side like a tick-tock, massaging across the back side of your pelvis and towards the outer hips. As you let the legs drop lower, you can feel that bit of massage into the outsides of the hips. Eventually allowing both legs to travel to the left and land. Left hand holds right knee crease. Take this into a turn. So chest and eyes right, hips left. Head to center, left arm cast out to a T. Do a couple more side to sides. And after you're tick-tocking side to side a few times, then take the legs all the way over to the right and land them over there. Catch with your right hand that upper knee crease and turn your upper body away from your lower body. Bringing head to center, lower body to the center. Take yourself now to happy baby pose or just hugging legs in close to body. So low back releases into ground. Bring chin ever so slightly down, so allowing the back side of your skull to be wide against the floor. Now releasing your limbs, right leg long, left leg long. Let the arms rest by the sides of your body. Close the horizon line of your eyes. And notice when you rest back and you lie down, how your breath becomes more delicate, spontaneous but gentle. Allow this spontaneous and gentle breath to wash over you. Feel the ground underneath you and release the weight of your body into it. Taking this time for Shavasana. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, then please continue to rest. If you'd like to end with a few minutes of meditation, raise your right arm up overhead, let it rest beside you. And bend your knees so you can roll onto your side body. From there, find your way up to the meditation seat that is energized without being rigid. If you're in Shavasana, continue to just rest heavy, spontaneous, gentle rhythm of breath. If you're seated in meditation, again connect to spontaneous, gentle rhythm of breath. And in this meditation, we notice breath. We notice breath that's long, or breath that's short. That's smooth or that's coarse. That feels free or constricted. There's no need to control the breath in order to notice the shorts and longs, coarse and smooth, free and constricted. The breath needs to just be without being manipulated. And you might say to yourself, oh, that was a long breath. That was a jagged breath. Noticing the quality of the breath as it arises in the now moment. Those of you resting in Shavasana, you're welcome to stay. If you'd like to close practice together, raise your right arm overhead, let it rest above you. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Finding your way up to an energized seat that isn't rigid. And together we draw our hands together in this gesture of offering and gratitude. May the merits of the practice we've done here today benefit all beings everywhere. Namaste.